Best open for three. In and out. Jordan back the other way. It's Kerr. His three is there.
Man, I'm telling y'all, I gotta listen. First of all, welcome to Mind Academy Sports, where we help athletes learn the connection between their mind and performance. I was doing some studying the other day, and I love studying the greats, especially the great teams. And I came to the conclusion, in order for anyone to win a championship, their role players have to play well. A lot of times we pay attention to the star players, the Michael Jordans, the Scottie Pippens, the Shaq, the Kobes. But it's often your role players that have to come up big under pressurized situations. So I'm watching, and you can watch this game on YouTube. You can watch this game on YouTube, okay? For all you youngins out there who want to see MJ in his fullness. He really wasn't at his best this game, and that's what I was wanting to talk about. But this is Bulls versus Pacers, Game 7. This is the only team that took the Bulls to Game 7 in the playoffs, okay? You have to understand, Michael Jordan was about 35, 36 years old, and he still had a little bit of explosion, but one thing that sometimes he struggled with was his energy. So you'll find out that he was sitting on the bench a lot, and then he'll come in with a great burst. And the most difficult part is he had to chase Reggie Miller around all day. He didn't have someone who he could rest on the other end. He had to chase Reggie Miller around. And if you let Reggie Miller get a split second, he'll shoot a three. So that was one of the most difficult teams for them. And they had great inside play and just a bunch of veterans. Not to mention, coached by Larry Bird, who was a competitor and a winner. So I'm just watching the game. I didn't even expect to do a video. I'm just watching the game, and I'm like, okay, they doing all right. MJ is not even doing that great, but they start the game off, and the Pacers are up 13. You gotta pay attention. Watch this. Back then, there was no YouTube. Okay, there was no other channels. So people viewed the finals game, Michael Jordan, everyone is watching the game. I saw a comment under the video, and it says, Steph Curry is great. LeBron James is great. Both of them have my respect, by the way. But they said the world stopped to watch MJ, in one of his finals game or in his playoff appearances. Everyone knew this was the last dance, so this possibly could be MJ's last game in the Eastern Conference Finals. So this game had 61 million people who viewed this game. 61 million. And to this day, you guys can check it out. It is the #1 viewed finals. Okay, this is more than LeBron Warriors. That's more than any of that. People paid attention to this game. All right. And as we can understand, and I talk about a lot in this channel, this is the essence of competition. Once that ball goes up, everything that's in you comes out. And this is where mental training kind of, is very helpful. Everything that's in you is going to come out. Every false confidence that you had before. You may be listening to, whatever you're listening to on your headphones, trying to get your confidence up. All that fabrication, it goes away. And the real you, once that whistle blows, I don't care what sport you're playing, is going to come out. And the craziest part about it, which people don't talk about, when games start, all of a sudden, it's like something gets in your throat. Your mouth gets dry. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of basketball players chewing gum. It's just like you gotta revert back to your training. And you athletes know what I'm talking about. It's something about the essence of pressure that is crazy. So these players are facing a lot of pressure because Michael Jordan said, listen, I need something from you guys. Steve Kerr only averaged 3 points during that whole entire series. There was a quicker guard that he had to guard, Travis Best, and then there was also a big tall guard like Mark Jackson, who was 6'4", 6'5". So he had his hands full the whole night. But so we get into the game, and the Pacers are winning by 13 points. Think about this: you facing pressure, and now you down by 13. And this is an elimination game. This is not what's up. But what helped them was Steve Kerr. You know, like I said, he wasn't feeling it, and I'm gonna show you guys the highlights later. But Michael Jordan has the ball, and he's on a fast break, and Steve Kerr has to step into a shot. Steve Kerr is ready, but he only has a little bit of time to make the shot. He steps into the shot smoothly, puts it up right away, and hits a three-pointer.
Best open for three. In and out. Jordan back the other way. It's Kerr. His three is there.
Right there, that created momentum for the Bulls. Okay, so now I brought in another concept, momentum. So not all the time is your momentum is going to come from your stars. Sometimes your stars are tired. Sometimes they're doubling your stars. But if your role players can be there and have a level of poise and can just jumpstart the rest of the team, now it can take off. So after that, MJ scores. He scores a bucket. Then the arena is jumping even more. A play later, Steve Kerr, watch this. The ball is all the way across the court, but he expects to hit the shot, right? Somebody on defense loses him. He puts his arms up, and he expects to hit this shot. He steps into the shot and hits it.
Jordan to the hoop. Then dishes it out to Pippen. Cross-court Kerr. Open three. Got
it. So, especially in basketball, you know a player is ready and he's expecting to win when he wants the ball. Okay, you can really tell he's in it when he wants the ball. Steve Kerr, he steps in, makes a shot again. That's 2 in a row. You know, that's 2 in a row. So Steve Kerr, I didn't tell you about another 2 points, but he had 8 points right there, you know, and really surged the Bulls run, and they were up by 2. Okay, so this is Steve Kerr. I mean, if you look at him, he's not quicker than anybody on the court. He's only 6'2". He can't dribble that well, but he knows that he can shoot the ball. And the Bulls desperately, if you watch the whole game through, they needed him to show up. And then in the third quarter, the game was pretty much tied. Pacers might have been up by a little bit, but Toni Kukoc came and he scored 15 points by himself in the third quarter. He was stepping into every shot and nailing it.
Lined it up and knocked it down.
2-point game. Kukoc again. Good again.
On his hip and able to extend away from him so Pippen couldn't block the shot.
Kukoc, 3 in a row, and that was a 3. Great start. Here is Jordan to Kukoc, who's been on fire and stays that way.
Do you feel what I'm saying? So, you know, people kind of undermine the Bulls as being the best team ever. But Toni Kukoc is 6'11", lefty, probably one of the best players from Europe to ever play. He stepped in and hit 15 points. So he was doing his thing, grabbing offensive rebounds. And even in that, they were up like 8 or 9 points after Toni Kukoc just kept shooting. So the Pacers caught back up in the fourth quarter, and they're winning by like 3 points. They needed Steve Kerr again. Steve Kerr made another 1 or 2 big shots.
Head fake on Smits into the lane against 3 defenders. Can't put it down. Loose ball tipped out to Pippen. Kerr can tie it. And then
their 2 big shots. So they needed these guys to get over the hump in order to even make it to the Jazz. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I can go over team after team, and maybe I'll do another video. But definitely you can go through all their runs and realize it's their role players that are helping. And they need these role players to have composure. They need these role players to have an empty mind. And you can see how all of these players, Toni Kukoc and Steve Kerr, how relaxed they are once they step into their shot. And I've watched videos in the past of Steve Kerr talking about, man, when the stuff that Phil Jackson has us do, it helps us in pressurized situations. You feel what I'm saying? That's why, you know, John Paxson can step into a shot. Toni Kukoc can step into a shot. So a lot of us want to win. We want to have the legacy, but we have to learn what it takes in order to get to that level. It's really mastery over the little things. We think it's the talent. We think it's the jumping through the roof, you know, and even the 3-point shooting. But you can't get there if you do not understand the power of your mind. And yes, I can get very technical here and talk about the different things, the roadblocks that are in our way, the obstacles, the mental interference that's really stopping people. You know, if you really get into the mind, you have negative thought programs that are embedded inside of your body, literally inside of your cells. I know people have it because I've been working on people's mind for 6 years. It's embedded inside of them. So the only way that, you know, these programs come alive, they're dormant. These negative programs, they come alive when pressure is applied. You feel what I'm saying? So you won't see them. You think they're not there, but they are. So you become a much better player if you get these negative programs removed. You feel what I'm saying? These limiting beliefs. You feel what I'm saying? These programs of fear of failure, right? Just in fear of success. A lot of this stuff, if we get all of this out of us and we can think very positive, right? Second nature, thinking very positive, and you can visualize the right stuff, I'm telling you, your game will go to the next level. But I just want to lay that on you. Role players are the key to championships. Look across those championship runs. Look across, you know, study the Lakers. Study the Lakers. You know, like I said, Shaq, he'll give you 30. Kobe Bryant, you know, he'll give you 30. But those teams wouldn't have made it without Derek Fisher and wouldn't have made it without Robert Horry. So, guys, just remember that. Not only do you need yourself, but the entire team has to be at that level where they're operating mentally. They're mentally sharp in order for you guys to overcome. If not, you know, these opportunities are going to pass you by, unfortunately. All right, guys, remember, you're only one thought away from your next greatest performance.
You know, we had some key plays from Judge Bushler. The judge came in and gave us some great minutes. Steve Kerr got us back in the game in the first half, and I think that's where we really, you know, momentum-wise, started to pick things up. When we first came out, I could sense everybody was a little nervous, a little tense. But somehow when we got back in the ball game, we knew we were in a fight, but we knew we had a chance too.